Hey, almost forgot to take my green screen down. I've been doing that a lot lately. Not as grounded as I should be. So maybe, again, I feel like a Scorpio, you're dealing with someone that is not grounded and you're not grounded. And see, you're tapped into this person. So you're feeling their energy. You're having a hard time staying present. That's why I feel like, because I always try and embody the person's energy that I'm trying to read. That's what channeling is. Channeling is a form of mediumship where we tap in to the person's emotional body, right? Their psychological and their emotional state. Now, for those of you that are new to my channel, my name is Laura, and I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid. Roles can be reversed. Always interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Never force anything. Take what you need, leave the rest. You know how it goes. Now, also know on this channel, I like to dive deep, which means I look at everything. But we take more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play it as karmic themes within your experiences. This will allow you to figure out why things are playing out karmically the way that they are, why you're attracting, who you're attracting, and what are you supposed to learn. We're down here in physical form to learn and to manifest, and the universe brings us people, situations, and experiences to heal, to help us transcend out of fear and into this energy of unconditional love, which is actually back into our original energy. It's just we're born into collective karma, family karma, and then we form habits and behaviorisms that block us from manifesting. Hey, Mose. I love you. I love how you show up here. I see you show up. I love people that show up. It means that you have a desire, Mose. You have a desire to learn. You have a desire to really figure out how to create your life. Hey, Sissika, I'm glad that you're here too. I appreciate your energies. I'm trying to be more consistent. My husband just passed away July 18th, and I was stepping into a new world, and grounded is not usually the best energy. So, when we have spiritual blocks, understand it affects our second chakra the most. And so I feel, like I said before, I always try and meditate to see whose energy I'm tapping into, because the emotions are the gateway to spiritual healing. And since this is a shadow healing program, it's all about integrating the spiritual lessons so you can transmute that negative energy, so you can see the outcome you want, so you can quantum jump into the reality that you want to. Hey, Queen Ski, thank you for sharing your energy here with me as well. So I'm going to jump right on into the reading, just because I'll get caught up in saying hello to everybody and I won't get to doing the reading, and no one wants to watch that in the archives, trust me. Anyway, I love you all, and I really thank you for all your prayers and your good wishes and your thoughts. They really do go a long way, especially since I don't have family. See, I was born into family karma. And so family karma, there's always a black sheep in the family. I'm the black sheep. Hi, nice to meet you. Nobody likes me. That's the energy. And if it's someone's fault, it's my fault. So I formed a lot of behaviorisms that were in alignment with that. And so I'm feeling, again, we're tapped into somebody that sabotages themselves. I understand saboteur is that archetype that people create when they grow up in trauma, when they believe that there's something wrong with them, when they believe that they're not deserving of love. They usually hold shame. So we always tend to talk about these people in the shadows. And the reason why I talk about them is so that you can understand your situation from a different perception. So you don't take it on. Like, this person made me feel, you'll be able to say, that person might have made me feel, but that person's really out of balance. That person's spiritually sick. So I'm going to react differently. And that's not so I can manipulate and get the person back, but it's so that I don't receive any negative karmic retribution. However, sometimes a person is on the borderline of raising their vibration. They're right there teetering on that line between fighting the old them, staying in that old energy, and moving on to the new them. And so it's really important to, when we're in those times, again, because everyone gets to those times because we're all works and projects, we're all evolving into this higher state of consciousness, to surround ourselves with people and situations and experiences that are going to mirror back who we want to be, not what we're afraid that we're going to be. It's very important to be conscious, to be aware. And so hopefully you'll understand why you attract who you attract and what you could do to integrate the spiritual lesson, and then really what this person's intention is, because there's the shadows and then there's the real person that this is really their intention. It's just spiritual wounds spiritual wounds distort our perceptions about ourselves and the world around us, making us form these behaviorisms that are extremely triggering when for the other person. So if you're dealing with someone that's wounded, you're continually getting triggered. And it's understand there's a reason for it. It's so that you can heal. So it's bringing out all that is separating you from unconditional love so that you can integrate the spiritual lesson and quantum jump into the reality that you want to experience. Otherwise, you wind up keep living a karmic loop, and karmic loops turn into karmic cycles and karmic contracts, and then you're fucked because it's really difficult to get out of a karmic contract. You can get out of one. It's not like you can't, but the damage it does psychologically and emotionally, and understand that affects your nervous system. So then you have anxiety, you have depression, you have other things that create detachment and disassociation where you're like, I don't trust me. I don't know. I don't know what I feel. I don't know. That's what it feels like. And so again, we always have to balance our body, mind, and spirit. There's a reason why I explain the way I do. And if you are someone that wants to heal themselves and break the karmic cycles, then this is going to be the channel for you. If you don't like all that and you just want to know what this person's going to do, I do tell you that. But again, it's more not about what they're going to do, because a lot of times what they do is fucked up. And we're like, I don't care what they do. What they did was they're an asshole. They've hurt me. I'm confused. I'm hurt. I'm stuck. Now I'm stuck. I'm stuck connected to a person that I have feelings for that is an asshole. And that alone is a mind fuck. So this is, again, a channel to help you uncode those things, to help you dive deeper within yourself. All right. Well, see, that's good. That's why we resonate, Mose. Again, birds of a feather flock together, like goes to like. And so you're just not attracting people that are wounded, that will bring out those wounds. Again, the universe brings you what you need, not what you want, but you also attract your soul's family and your soul's tribe. And that's what I hope to create here, because we can laugh about these blocks. Otherwise we cry. Being able to see situations differently helps you integrate the spiritual lesson. But integrating the spiritual lesson is not enough. The universe says no go. What about all that pent up emotional energy? Or do you think it just dissipates because now you're in a different life? It doesn't work that way. You need to channel it into purpose. That's actually the fire energy, that emotional energy of rage, anger, resentment, all these lower energies that are derived from fear. They need to be transmuted. So if you grew up in an environment where you said that you did, Mose, well, that energy needs to be transmuted. Otherwise, you don't get to see a different version of yourself. It's not enough just the awareness, but it's actually to integrate. Because again, God says you're here to give and receive of love, which is your free will, whatever you choose to do. But it's always something that's connected to your heart, and something that feels right in the gut, feels right in the heart, feels right in the mind. We're balanced. And so without recreating, a lot of times people that have spiritual blocks, they don't recreate their life. They inherit the ancestral karma. This is what I'm trying to explain to you what would need to be healed. It's not just one thing. It's a multi-leveled things that you need to heal. But a lot of times it brings you to your soul's purpose, and there's a reason why. And that's, again, how we get to see ourselves differently. So it's actually a good thing. All right. Now, if you want to enter into winning free reading with me, you have to obviously be open to getting a shadow reading. You have to like the video, subscribe to the channel, write the word of the video when you come board bar. Can't speak today. And I'm going to take that note. Someone's not grounded and someone is having a hard time. If someone has a lot of anxiety is what I feel like. You're connected to someone that has a lot of anxiety. Or you might have a lot of anxiety, or maybe both. I feel like if you're a soulmate, you have an ESP connection, and you can be like, every time I think of this person, I get anxiety. And I think, is it me? Is it them? Like, what the hell? Well, it's them, but because you're so spiritually connected to this person, regardless of what they did, and you're possibly here because you're like, yeah, I want to know why. What's the point of this relationship? Okay, self-neglect, and that is, again, the underlining energy, which means that no one's doing nothing. It's just really irritating. But understand things are happening spiritually, again, where you can't see them because you can only stay stuck for so long. The universe will always, find a way to bring you what you need, whether you want to or not. So I'm feeling you're connected to someone that neglected to make a choice. They neglected to make a choice, and mainly because they didn't want to come to you because pride. They didn't want to really change their stance on doing things the way that they like to do them. I feel like this person, when you get into a relationship with them, they create a lot of facades. They have one foot in, one foot out. But the facade really is that they're like almost like a big boss man, big boss woman, that they're just so important. So I don't really feel like they're really that important. And so I also feel like because this person chose not to, make a choice, which is self-neglecting themselves, by the way, because they didn't trust themselves to make a choice. That's the flip side. But I feel like they are connected to someone karmically. And I believe that because they neglected themselves, the universe is coming in and collecting its due. It's saying, all right, you want to stay stuck? Well, you're not going to be able to stay stuck no more. So I believe that this person was not expecting to be betrayed. They usually come out on top. So I believe that you're connected to someone that their ego is literally like crumbling. The tower, it's a literal tower moment I'm seeing, like the tarot card, the tower, where everything, not anything that was made not of unconditional love, when a tower moment happens, dies. It leaves your life because it wasn't supported on anything good. And what this person's going to see is that their life looks pretty barren, that they don't have really any friends, that they don't have the job that they had, that they were able to carry that facade is no longer. They're in the worst place of their life. And I feel like you're not giving them no time because they neglected you. They neglected you. And they know that they neglected you out of pride, out of not hurting this karmic, out of every reason, which really is just avoidance of intimacy that this person has, which is why they self-neglect themselves. It's like they don't believe that they're deserving of love, or they believe that if they're going to be loved, it has to be done a certain way. They have real control issues, really bad second chakra imbalance. This person cannot go with the flow. It's like they want to be able to do whatever they want to do, but when it comes to you, they would be up your ass. Trust me. It's like, and not in a good way. It's like because of fear. So when you're in a relationship with them, I feel like you felt like you couldn't, you felt like they went from one extreme to another where you felt like you couldn't breathe. And it's like where you felt suffocated, where it's like they were love bombing you, giving you a lot of attention out of fear. And that's exactly what you feel. However, I want you to know that you actually make this person um, sometimes feel suffocated, and it's due to themselves. They are not comfortable in any type of relationship unless it's a codependent attachment type relationship. So then they create what they want, but then they get freaked out, and then it triggers their anxiety because they're doing what they're doing out of fear. And when we do things out of fear, we overcompensate. So this person like rushes in, gets everything the way that they want to get it, and then gets freaked out and then is like, I don't want it. And almost makes it like you're the person that wanted all that, where it's like, you didn't want all that. I feel like you're balanced, and and they trigger a lot of anxiety with inside of you because now there's trust issues because you're like, you come in, you tell me, or you insinuate that you want it a certain way. Then I do that. Then you disappear. It's like this person's never satisfied. They're never comfortable, or whatever you seem to do, it's never okay. It made you feel like unsafe. Like, and I don't mean like, well, maybe again, like this person's a little bit bipolar is what you feel. Because again, someone that's very controlling is really led by their emotions. They're not coming from the present moment. They're coming from past trauma, and we see what we look for. So this is why when we don't heal from past relationships, this is what it looks like. We bring all that baggage into the next relationship. However, the person will not feel safe with you. And you'll be like, me, I don't even do anything. Well, it's the feelings, it's the depth of, because it's a real connection. And real connections, there needs to be transparency, there needs to be intimacy. And I'm not talking sex, I'm talking about trust. Relationships are something that happen over time. Trust is something that happened over time, that the person shows up consistently. What do we see here? It's like you want it, you want it, you want it, you don't want it. You want it, you want it, you want it, don't want it. It's like you get tired. It's like, because what it's doing to you is it's every time this person comes in, comes out, you get excited and then drop, get excited and drop. So you wind up releasing a lot of hormones into your body, like cortisol, where it's like it's the way that a person forms an attachment. Is this person aware that they're like, hey, I'm going to come in and form an attachment? They don't know. They just know what they always do and what works for them. And what works for them are unhealthy relationships where they have full control by forming an attachment. But again, that's a form of abuse. It's like, I'm going to come in, I'm going to make you feel like on top of the world and give you everything and really make you feel safe. And then I'm going to take it away. And then I'm going to come back and then take it away. And because there is a spiritual connection, they think that you're always going to take it. And that's why you're like, I didn't feel safe. I don't feel safe psychologically, emotionally, because it's like, I don't know what you want. I feel like you play a lot of games. It's like you feel that they had a hard time of letting go of the past and the fears that were associated with it. So they manifest as chaos in relationships. And I also feel like you grew up in an environment that kind of mirrored this type of energy. Sometimes it was real that your parents were really nice to each other, and sometimes they were really nasty. And that's a second chakra imbalance that now that trauma you inherited. It's like because you watched people that you love not be able to, it made it, you could feel that they weren't safe, which inevitably made you not feel safe as a child when you grow up with parents that get along, don't get along, and there's a lot of drama. And that drama is, parent actually moving out, that parent cheating, that parent escaping through alcohol. Again, our parents were just people too, and they didn't have the spiritual tools. But nevertheless, we inherit that trauma. So I feel like that's what happened to you. I feel like you had a hard time of letting go of the past and the traumas that are associated with it. But maybe not in relationships. I actually feel like you kind of lived safe. And actually, this person, there is a spiritual connection. That's why you're like, kind of like more intrigued and more hooked on this relationship because of the depth of this connection. Well, understand there's a lot of different types of soulmates here. But all soulmates come in and they teach. This karmic mate, I feel like, is coming into your life to draw out that inner child wounds. I'm going to pull one more. Cheating. I feel like whether this person was talking to people online or whether or not they were really cheating, I feel like that goes, unfortunately, hand in hand with the second chakra imbalance. When a person doesn't know who they are and they're very controlling because they don't feel safe, then it doesn't feel good. And so what happens is like they have to do things to make themselves feel better. And so that's usually very addictive behavior, whether that's, doing drugs, but sex is usually like on the top, like, two. And it's because of that dopamine. It's that this person is like not emotionally intelligent, but they have a lot of trauma. They need to control and understand. Someone that needs to control, that takes a lot of energy. You live in survival mode when you try and control, right? And when that person releases a lot of cortisol, so then what happens is they counter it with, again, this behaviorism. So again, it's just someone that has very addictive behavior. Now, you could have grown up with somebody, again, usually this is why this happens, with someone that had very addictive behavior. Now, that didn't mean that they had to have that sex. They could have been an alcoholic, but it was someone that didn't show up, someone that sabotaged the connection due to, again, their addiction. But addiction is escapism, and that's this person. This person has feelings and wants the relationship to be a certain way. They want to feel secure, but they don't really even know what secure is, because secure is not something that can be emulated. It's something that we know through a process. This person doesn't want to go through the process of actually investing the time to build the emotional connection, which would actually heal the second chakra. Intimacy is based on, like I said, the time that you give. But if the person doesn't have any other life except for you and controlling you, then they're not balanced at all. And so I feel like this person, that like you're like the addiction of the month, the year, whatever it is. And then the problem is that once this person gets that, they like it for a certain amount of time, then they get bored, because it's not built on unconditional love. It's built on lust. It's still built on dominance. It's built on all these, again, lower energies. That's what makes this type of relationship dangerous. Again, it's an attachment that this person is unconsciously creating, trying to create, but they create it in all their relationships. They're not aware of it. I feel like you were aware of it. You were aware of it. And so that, I feel, is making this person really angry. It's like, yeah, they're like trying to figure out how to get back into your life. Again, not in the heart. Again, someone that's very ego is someone that schemes. That's why I said I knew that they weren't happy, because It's like you saw right through them. This person, people, they think that they're pretty smart. I said that before. Didn't know why I said it, but this is why. It's because they're cunning. And then they always, like, again, want attention to be on them. So there's a sense that if they're going to give you attention, it would be bad attention. It's, again, this person needs attention from a lot of people. And the thing is, I feel like you're on a high vibration. I feel like, again, that you're doing a lot of things within your life, and that's why this person came in. They were attracted to it all. However, they wouldn't be able to deal with you getting attention, too much attention. They're insecure. That's why they came in, and they wanted to have everything their way. But when it comes to them, they have to have a lot of attention. And they're not going to give you the attention to create the emotional bond that would actually quench their thirst, to satisfy. They're trying to get that emotional fulfillment through outside things, which, understand, that will always leave a person depleted and always bring a person to a place where they are right now, which is in a horrible place. They're in a horrible place because, hey, I feel like they thought that you were going to really always be there. Yeah, they thought that you were always going to be like consumed with them because they made it that way. Almost like, if you're so consumed with what I'm doing, how I feel by the crazy way that I act, and I'm coming in and I'm coming out of your life and creating attachment, but I'm doing it in a way where, like, you can't really point it out at me. You just know that I'm not consistent, that I'll come in maybe one day every day for a week, and then I won't show up for a week and a half, and I won't say anything. And you really won't be able to say anything to me because a week and a half really isn't long enough. But it's long enough for you to, like, feel a little uncomfortable. So again, this is the way the person schemes and strategizes. This is how, again, an attachment is created. So they're aware. Their whole thing is that they want you to be consumed with them without them forming an emotional attachment. They need attention, but they want attention from everyone, because remember how this started. That this person created an illusion, a facade. They were like big boss man, big boss woman, like someone that was important. It's, again, they're not important. They're trying to make it like they're important. And with you, if they can make you, again, chase them, give them, be consumed with them, well, then that feeds their ego, where they, again, believe that they're important because they feel you're important. Because remember, they came in your life, you're making things happen in your life. Again, what did I say? Just their inconsistency. This is how it was trained. It was like how they tried to train you. And this is their issue, but that's a second chakra imbalance too. When a person doesn't know who they are, they're going to give too much time to certain things for only a limited amount of time, and then they get bored with it like anything else. So they tend to be a little bit of a rolling stone, this person. They haven't really created a foundation. That's why I said I felt like a tower moment. And then this person is looking around and they're like, remember, after a tower moment, anything that's standing was only based on truth. Something that was built from God, something that's unconditional love, something that the universe says, this is good. Anything that's built on, bad is going to crumble. It's not going to last during a tower moment. Anything that's, shady, again, of a lower energy. And so this person's looking around their life and they're seeing it's very barren right now, that who they once, like, that facade is gone. They can't fake the funk because you're going to see it now. And so they were inconsistent. They weren't good. So they're actually holding back a little bit because they don't really feel like they have enough. They have a lot of anxiety. That's what they said. That's how this reading started. They said, I feel like this person has a lot of anxiety. And they do, because they're trying to figure out in their mind, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And they can't. And I feel like on some level, they thought that you were always going to be there. They always thought that they would be able to run to you, that you'd be that ace in the hole, that you would be, because of the connection there, you might be like, they never gave me enough. It's this person's reality that they have created attachments this way. So just because you're on a higher vibration, they didn't know that. Again, they just know, again, that they were giving time and that there was this spiritual connection. Their mistake for a lot is when they come back, they're not going to be. You're not going to be there anymore. That's what it's going to be, because again, or that you're not interested, you're distracted with other things going on in your life. I feel like, and that's this person's karma, because when they were with you, it's like they didn't really come across as big boss person. They just seemed like they were distracted by other things and that you just weren't getting the attention. This person is not grounded. They tend to live in the fantasy realm of what they perceive. And that's what happen if they don't get close to you. They don't get close to you and they're not emotionally intelligent. So them being intuitive, everything that they're perceiving is distorted. So it's not going to logically make sense to you if this person's reality of, I had a connection to you, I want my cake and eat it too, I want to be in full control of this situation, that means I have to control you. That's not what you allowed. Again, this person misjudged you. But we'll go deeper and we'll see what's the point of this relationship. Does this person feel like they're going to do anything? Do they care? Like a lot of times, this is their behaviorisms, and then what they're going to do is something completely different, and how they feel is completely different, that you'd be like, what the hell? And that is what you call fragmentation. That's what you call disassociation and detachment, that this person doesn't know what they feel. So they compartmentalize and they're fragmented. So they feel many different things. So you're like, this is why they come across as bipolar, like I said earlier. Our energy is stagnant and it's triggering sometimes. Triggers sometimes happen to break the stagnancy and help the energy flow. So this person, again, will not create a conversation with you. What they're saying is, see, you're not talking to them. They have anxiety. They thought you were going to be like a sure thing. You're not a sure thing. You're like, fuck you. I'm not here for whatever this is. I don't want this type of relationship. So this person doesn't really want to come back and apologize and have a conversation. What they would rather do is start a fight with you. They would rather, create a trigger within inside of you, because then they can read you to see whether you care or not. Which again, it's game playing. It's a game playing. And again, this person lives in Lululand. They believe that, they believe their facades, like you're going to act like everybody else acts, or that you're going to act like how people act in the movies, like it's over dramatized or something. I don't know. But this is, again, when a person isn't grounded. When our conversations are lighthearted and playful, it eases the tension that is there when we talk. So, of course, there's tension there when you talk to this person. They don't treat you good. They don't treat you the right way. So, because it's like, again, you're not going to sit there and just pretend that they not to say anything. Again, this person forms attachments where people don't. Now, people that have been traumatized and they haven't healed their inner child wounds, or again, they've been in a narcissistic relationship for whatever reason, they haven't healed. A person is able to come in, and not consistent, where they're not going to say anything. They're going to, again, go along with it. The person's going to do little things to tear away and chip away at their self-esteem. The person's not going to say anything. I feel like you said something, and this person actually got offended by what you said. Like, because again, they're so wounded, everything that they hear is through distorted perception. It's like they can't deal with criticism. They can't deal with it. I need you to trust me and believe I am working towards union with you. Like, this person, like I said, I know that it bothers them. See, that's the thing. They're scheming. They're trying to figure out how to get back to you. And slowly, but slowly, but slowly, this person's ego is coming down. That doesn't mean that they're healed. It means that unconditional love is what wins. There's a spiritual connection here. You're not giving in. You're like, I'm not, whatever this is, I'm not doing. There is going to be tension when I talk because what you do is not acceptable. You create problems for yourself. You sabotage the connection, and not just with me, but with that karmic, because guess what? Your life is crumbling. And so whatever you were attached to that wasn't built on truth is crumbling. So you don't even know who you are. You can't even hide behind your false identity anymore. So of course you have to surrender your ego and be like, you have to understand, I'm a changed person. That's how this person is gonna come back. But it's not because they did any healing. It's because they'll think that they've done healing. No. It's because the rug was pulled out from underneath them and everything crumbled. So I know in my heart we'll be together one day, and that helps me trust. Let's keep working on us. So it's, again, this person, I feel like, has to believe that they didn't screw up anything. And the reason why is because they don't have nothing in their life. They don't have anything in their life. So they know if they contact you right now with nothing after not knowing what to do and holding back from you, that you would be like, go screw yourself. Coming in broken, haggard, like, because that karmic is it didn't make things easy. Your life looks like shit. Whether that was the karmic or just everything in your life, it just happened to collapse at the same time because nothing was built on truth, because you're a liar. So now you're going to come in, act like you're this changed person, but you're not this changed person. What you are is you're a broken person. But this person, like you said, they're scheming. They know if they have to come back, they better come back with something. And so in their heart, they have to believe that you will take them back, because they won't have a life. They don't have a life. They they ruin their life. Whatever their life was before this incident is flattened. Like I said, I believe that this person's a rolling stone, which means that this isn't the first time that this has happened, that they've gotten together with people that they have somehow betrayed. I mean, they betrayed you too, but whoever they betrayed before you, and that could be a business partner, it could be a family member. It doesn't need to be a relationship. A karmic is somebody that, you still haven't learned. And it's the karmic theme. And the karmic theme is that every so few years, this person, whatever they've built, they've lost. And they have to go to somebody else, and they pick somebody good, and they, again, try to form that attachment, but almost like to suck the life force, because this person, like you said, they don't have enough on their own. I'm afraid you're going to meet someone else before I'm ready to be with you. Yeah, this person knows you're going to meet somebody else. It's like they know that they've taken too long. They know that you're like, see someone else. And it's like, they hope, I feel like they hope that you will like still have the feelings for them. I feel like this person is like looking at you now as if you're like a So like again, they because of you, I'm starting to see what is really important in my life. Like, right? But let me tell you something. It's their life is falling apart. They didn't think about you before. They this was a great strong connection that they, didn't do anything about. They neglected you. They neglected whoever, like whatever else that they were doing, and really they neglected themselves in the end. It's like, but now that they don't have anything, there's a sense that, of course, they're gonna, remember what a great connection it is. My thing is that this person just hasn't done the healing. Their intention is to come back and be like this changed person. But because this is a shadow healing page, we have to disclose that they have not done any healing work. So they're weak right now. They would be subservient to you. They would become everything that you want them to become. We know that they know how to do that. They come into relationships like that. However, balance is the key, and balance only occurs when you've created yourself. There's nothing to this person. There's nothing left. There's nothing left. There's like the universe came in and said, whatever's not built on truth is going. So again, there's nothing left. It's barren. Like I said, so of course they're like looking around trying to figure out like where they could go. Wouldn't you? Anybody would. But this would be a karmic. But in their mind, they would think that they're doing the right thing. Understand that. It's like they're not intentionally saying, I'm going to come in and fuck you over. No, no, no. What they're saying is, I have this newfound feeling and relationship, but understand why. Yeah, like it's again, they feel helpless. They feel paralyzed. And they see that you're a great catch, and that they feel luck, but again, literally fish hook. I'm gonna try it. I feel like you're a great catch. They always knew that you were a great catch, you know. But I'm also paralyzed with fear of what's going on in my life. I need help. I need like I'm a rolling stone. I'm too old to be a rolling stone. It's like my life, like there's no I need direction. And that's what I felt like. It's like this person would be coming in being like, can we be friends almost? I'm not fucking around here. Like they want to be like friends, like I said, mutual, okay? Like because they want to find themselves. There's a sense that like I said, this person is insecure because of what has happened. But what we see here is again like these friends, like I said, it's like almost like this person wants to connect to you, but they know that they don't have anything to offer. They know that they screwed this relationship up. They know that their life looks really fucked up. However, you and them had a connection at one time, and they're almost like, maybe we could be friends, which understand. It's like, why would this person, what is this person like a loser? And really what it is it's like kind of someone just flattened their life. They don't have a life. They remember you as someone kind, loving, someone that they were connected to, someone that gave them time, someone that again they view that, that. And if you still have feelings for them, well, maybe you'd be willing to help them. It's like not to get over on you, but because they need that help. It's again, like I said, I'm sorry, but expect communication. I know that you don't want to hear it, but it's like, if this person doesn't think that the relationship is done, they understand everything that they did. Whatever they did, they didn't choose you. Whatever they chose, I don't even think that they chose anything. And I think just what people got tired of their bullshit. Who again, this could have been a business partner, it could have been a family member, it could have been anyone. A karmic just came in and destroyed this person's life. So enough is enough with you. And so again, but that's not even the worst of it. The worst of it is every few years this happens to this person. That it's like a 7 year, 8 year karmic cycle that they get together, build a business with someone, start a venture, whatever it is, and then the person that they do whatever they do with like ruins them. So they have major trust issues, major intimacy issues. So even though this person, like, their intention is good, they're saying like, again, I see you as a good person, maybe if we could start over, we could at least be friends, and then you can help me, like, again. And sometimes there is that teacher student spiritual connection, right? It's like there's many different soulmates, and I feel like this person is drawn to you, and their own like inner voice is telling them that, is directing them towards you. And you'd be like, well, you can tell that inner voice that things, but understand, they're paralyzed. It's again, they're blocked, and and they create their own barriers to it. So that's really what they want to talk to you about. It's about why they keep getting in their own way, why they keep having these setbacks in their life. And really it's because of all the trauma that they've gone through and that they haven't healed it. So the thing is, it's that they want love. It's not like they don't want love. It's not like they don't feel a connection. However, in order for them to really feel safe in a connection, they want to control the relationship. And that's the worst thing that you could possibly do, because it makes you crazy and it triggers other sabotaging behaviorisms, which is what we see with this person. But that doesn't mean that they don't have feelings. Now, the whole point in me sharing that with you is to know that, again, that it's not really intentional. No, this person feels like that, you could be a part of their support system, that you're part of their tribe, that they feel, again, a loyalty like that, mainly because of how you are, not that way that you were with them, but how you are with your friends, how you are with the people in your life, that people see that. That's a character trait that this person doesn't have. Like I said, people coming in and destroying their lives, trust me. If it's different karmic theme, maybe it's a karmic mate one time, then another time it's a business partner, then another time it's a family member, then another time it's this person keeps reliving that theme of victimization, of betrayal. But really it's because they self-sabotage themselves. But they feel this connection to you, again, like a spiritual soul connection, which I don't believe that this person really ever had that before. It's just a familiarity, that they feel safe, that they feel like they can go to you and talk to you about their problems. And you may be like, I don't want that. It's, again, and you have the right to do that. That would be this person's karma. However, that doesn't take away that this person's going to try, because that's the way that they feel. They feel that you are part of their support system, okay? That it's, again, part of their tribe. They don't know why, possibly because of that ESP connection. Again, we didn't get it right. You don't want to be with me on this way, but I still feel connected to you. So that means something. And to you, you might be like, it doesn't mean shit. But Spirit would say, well, it actually does. You're just mad. And that's okay too. But and that might be the karma just that's built up, but you would have something to learn too from this person. The Spirit doesn't just bring people that are like on a lower vibration to you to say, hey, yeah, heal this person, go ahead, heal this person, and you get nothing. Spirit doesn't do that. It's like, no, you have something to learn too, my friend. So you're like, what the hell do I need to learn? Spirit says, well, let's take a look at the inner child wounds. Let's see why you attracted this person into your life. Because it's not like they don't have feelings for you. It's like, I feel like, yeah, they get in their own way a lot. And psychological reversals do that. When a person's overstimulated and they have a spiritual block, they overthink and that's how they sabotage themselves, because they do what's connected to those thoughts, those core beliefs, and this person doesn't really believe that they can have it because of past relationships, not even because of what you're doing. Trauma. You lived in trauma. There we go. We want to know why you attracted this person. Now, trauma is psychological, it's emotional, it's not just physical trauma. So, having parents, maybe again, coming from abuse, being brought up in an environment where you were belittled, where you were made to feel that shame, and that a lot of times is just inheriting ancestral karma, and that was based on what was going on collectively. So, did your family grow up in times that it wasn't acceptable to be a certain color, a certain race, speak a certain language, look a certain way, love a certain person, to walk a certain way, have certain color hair, what the fuck ever? Because God knows that, society likes to tell people everything, and, for it brings them further away from themselves. So, just that alone, I feel inadequate. I grew up feeling inadequate. So I overgive in my relationships. The behaviorisms that come from trauma, because it's like trauma is like, okay, yeah, you grew up in trauma, and no, what happens when we grow up in trauma? We feel like not good enough. We overgive. We were conditioned to overgive, to overlove, to worry more about being liked than being respected, by not setting appropriate boundaries, by giving too much to people that don't deserve it, by undervaluing ourselves. We don't do this consciously. We say, yes, please. No, we don't do that. We do it by being too attentive, by caring too much, by abandoning our own needs. What is this person trying to do? They're trying to create an attachment. That's what they're trying to do with their brokenness. It's again, and what does this say here? Your inner child wound. What was done to you? Did you have to give more of your energy to make other people feel better in your family growing up? Did you have to abandon the things that you wanted to be okay? Because that we don't do that now. What we created in childhood to survive is going to obstruct us from thriving. And this is what that person would do, just so that you know. It's again, they don't have a bad intention, by the way. They're just messed up. But Spirit says you should know better. You shouldn't love yourself enough. It's again, when we grow up in trauma, we don't love ourselves enough. We tend to overgive to other people to get that love. And Spirit says, don't do what this person does. That's what this person does. They come in and they set everything up to get the love. And then they're like, oh, I don't really know if I want that. It's a little too much. It's like, Spirit says, don't do that. It's like you give yourself the love. You pour your cup all the way up till it overflows. You give anybody what drips out. It was like, and you don't look for love outside of you. It's like, that's the trauma. It's like, and you're going to continue to attract people into your life that don't know your value, because you're not showing people what your value is, because you don't really know what your value is. So the universe says, so I'm going to bring you someone that makes you feel that way, brings it conscious. Are you walking around consciously being like, I don't know my value? No. But when you look at your paycheck, when you base your life on outside things and you don't like what's going on, the universe says, that's a fail. It was like, that's a fail. It's like, we have to get into the energy of passion, unconditional love. Then you know why you're here. You're connected to the universe. You're connected to me, unconditional love. The energy of the universe, supernatural energy. So you makes you a magnet for more, not the trauma that you're holding on from the past because you haven't transmuted that negative energy. Oh, you might have learned the spiritual lesson, but Spirit says, until we actually do something with the energy, that's a fail. It's like it's half done. It's like, would you want to eat a cake that's half baked? No. You got to do the whole thing. Naive. Again, that spirit says being too naive. And part of that is when you're a child and you have gone through trauma, you're not as present. You're not as, you trust, you think people are going to treat you the way that you would treat them. And spirit says, no. It's like at this point, you should have learned that lesson in childhood. Unfortunately, your family taught you that you couldn't trust at a young age. It didn't mean that they didn't love you. They didn't trust themselves. It was a trauma that they went through. This isn't a blame game, but we have to understand how we inherited the 700 generations of karmic consequences. 700 generations. It's again of ancestral karma. It's like, and that was one. So that trauma made you not as present because again, you were abandoned. So again, when our parents don't show up for us, when emotionally they're not there for us, when we don't feel safe and supported and loved. And so, that's a bad combination. We have major trauma because we were abandoned. So then we tend to just be like, well, I'm just going to treat people the way I want to be treated. And then they're going to treat me the way that I want them to treat me. And that's a fail. The universe says, fail. This ain't heaven. This ain't heaven. This is earth that can sometimes look like hell. It's like, so that's a no. Strength doesn't come from building outside of you. It happens from making yourself strong. So the universe is saying you're weak and you're attracted a weak person. It's again, and that's because your second chakra is imbalanced. If you don't really know who you are and understand that would happen if you had trauma due to abandonment, then what happens is emotionally we want to create that support more than actually go out and find ourselves. We're more concerned about our survival, and spirit says no. Ships in the harbor are nice, but that's not what you're made for. It's again, you're down here to be the expression of love. You grew up in family karma, then inherited like their ancestral karma, and collectively you inherited that karma. So all of that energy needs to be transmuted, and that's without doing anything yourself. Understand, we also collect our own negative karma by whatever we choose to do. But spirit says, no. You got your ancestral karma, you got your collective karma. And as you can see, there's a lot of shit going on collectively that you all have to integrate, and that you're like, oh my God, like why does the world look this way? And spirit says it because it's not balanced. So you got to get yourself. That's what Michael Jackson was saying when he said, if you want to change the world, take a look at yourself and make that change. It's again, when we change ourselves, we can help change the world. And so collectively, we have to heal the effects of our trauma. And that happens from, feeling abandoned. So we wouldn't know. And this person has 1 foot in, 1 foot out. They're not making a choice. Again, they created that. Now they want to come back in. But understand why they want to come back in. It's like, it's not that they don't have feelings, but you look a lot nicer now that they're in a barren space. Self-sabotage. Spirit says you better not. You better not. Trauma creates self-sabotage. That's what this person keeps reliving. This is the karmic cycle that they keep living. Spirit says, do you want to go into your karmic cycle? Because again, you grew up in the same way, just so that you know, but you're not in that energy. But if they come into your life and you decide to help them, well, that's what's going to happen to you, because, it doesn't work that way. Sometimes people have to actually pay their own karmic debt. They have to, you don't want to inherit their debt. They don't know how to be. It doesn't mean that they didn't learn anything, but they haven't integrated their spiritual lessons. So you would be so busy trying to navigate the relationship, you wouldn't be able to focus on what you're doing. So this is about self-love. So the only way to transmute trauma that's ancestral where again we have these behaviorisms of self-sabotage where we get in our own way. Well, Spirit says is self-love. Create yourself, become yourself. You are not shame, you are not the trauma of your past. However, until you see a different version of yourself, it'll continue to play out within your life, because what you resist persists. That's what is the law of the universe. So the law of the universe says you must clear yourself. You're me. All you are is me, the universe says, and I am unconditional love. I am the highest vibration, and you're here to give and receive of love. And by becoming it, again, to recondition your body and mind, the universe will always bring you people, situations, and experiences that help you quantum jump into that new reality. However, the lower energies, and those lower energies may be considered the devil. It may be considered, it's a dark force. Well, they want you to stay stuck in a place of limitation. But the higher energies, which is considered, unconditional love, God, the universe, all these energies, well, that's the positive energy, and that's a positive spiritual force. And there's a spiritual war happening right now. And it's about you taking charge of your life. And if you're in a situation like this, Spirit's saying, well, the antidote is, again, putting the energy into yourself. It's not to be stuck with the trauma bond, because that's really what this person is. Yes, there are past life karmic. Yes, there is unconditional love there, because I needed you to learn the lesson. You wouldn't have stuck around. However, in this situation, we use common sense. It's like we're not just going to go, oh, this person's changed. No, they're not changed. Change will happen in a few years when they dig themselves out of this mess. And they think twice before they do whatever they do again. Positive thinking. My life is full of small patches of light. I direct my thoughts to that which bring me well-being. I place what is weighty for me into the hands of the universe. Little by little, the light awakens in my being, and I find serenity. So it's again, Spirit saying, it's like we have to make those happy patches within our life. Trust me. We don't have control over what happens in the universe, but we do have control over where we decide to put our time, our energy, our focus, and our money. That's all our energies. If I was to pull a tarot card, that would be the magician, that we have all the tools that we need. However, we have a limited resource of them. So we put those resources into things that are going to grow us. That is the way to really heal the effects of your trauma, because you're continually making new awarenesses, creating new neurological pathways, new behaviorisms that are in alignment with, again, where you're going, what you're doing, what you're passionate about, not on what you needed to do for survival. And that's why you attracted this person, because Spirit says you've done healing, but you haven't fully transmuted that energy. And that comes when, I give you a karmic test, and that karmic test is there is love here. It's not like there isn't, but the person's broken and they're not healed enough for you. So it's, again, the test is, are you going to choose you? Or are you going to abandon yourself and self-sabotage yourself and try and get the love outside of you? That's what this person did. And Spirit says, no, you're not. You're going to, again, be positive and know that the universe always brings you everything what you need. And in the meantime, you're going to put your focus on those small patches of happiness, and don't look in anyone else's lane. You're going to stay on course. And that is what you need to do in order to actually fully transmute that spiritual lesson. And that, in the end, makes this person eat the negative karma, which they actually racked up. It's not about them running now to a new person and draining that person, and where they utilize whatever that person has achieved on their own for their benefit, and then wind up sabotaging the whatever goes on, because the relationship wouldn't work. it wouldn't be balanced. That's why. So I hope that you guys resonated with that. I'm going to read a few of your comments. If anyone has any messages, please ask. I wasn't able to read any of the comments, obviously, while I was channeling. So let's see what you wrote, Queen Sky. I have been healing my childhood trauma for years. Still silvers of it that God shows me I need work on. This person is triggering an old wound and limerence. I am breaking down the false pedestal. I think that that's what it is. A lot of times when you meet a karmic mate, what you realize is like there's such an intense emotional connection and attraction that you tend to overlook or want to overlook those things that, are right there in the open, you know, um, and it's more about what you want the person to be and not really who the person is. And people grow emotional bonds in that, 3D, because they're continually thinking and imagining what they perceive that the person will be for them, and it's not what that person is at all. So that's what is dangerous, because like I said, before you know it, you do put the person on a pedestal. However, if a narcissist was going, oh, congratulations about nail art school. um, but what winds up happening is you can like you can always know whether or not you're attracting somebody that has a lot of wounds by, like, obviously how they react. But it's more or less to be able to look and see, like, what are the facades, the illusions that you create about this person, because it's really that's the connection. It's more or less what you wanted this person to be, not who they are. And that person will always be something that fulfills you on an emotional level, but that you want to fulfill you on an emotional level, but will never be able to give you what you imagine, because that you're attracting someone that's more in alignment with the wound. That's the irony. You look at this person like, oh, they're going to be so, like, emotionally attentive to me, because you grew up in an environment that emotionally you didn't get anything, and so you really feel like you need that, and then you attract someone that is, like, emotionally, like, handicapped. They can't give you anything, and it keeps you stuck in living that same karmic theme that made you feel unloved. That's the irony with karmics. That's why you want to always be balanced. That's how you have good discernment. You have good discernment because you're not so close up to the picture. This person creates trauma bonds so that they're right here, that you don't see anything except for them. You'll be consumed with them, that you don't see anything else. That's what they want, because it's easily manipulated. That what they say, narcissists, a lot of times they will not let you have any friends. They won't let you be close to your family. Why? Because it's about controlling the narrative. Oh, it's okay. Thank you, Siska. You could always get one of those apps and talk into it and then just cut and paste it. Sometimes that's what I would do. Or Google the words and then cut and paste it. you know? So what is this? He's getting a divorce. He was completely codependent. I have awakened. But right, and that's the thing. It's like what happens with that Queen Sky is that you wind up doing all this work for the person, but on an emotional level, this person winds up being connected to you. You're more connected to them, and then they feel like they don't really need to do the work to get out of the relationship, because they were completely codependent in that relationship. And the thing is, they are more guilted by that person. they're easily manipulated, and they've already invested in that person where that person knows every button to push. So the thing is, now you're connected, giving to this person, helping this person when they don't even have any intention of really ever leaving. And that's not to be mean, but it's to be because they're comfortable. They feel bad for the person. Oh, but they don't feel bad for you? Why don't they feel bad for you? And that is when you need to like walk away and be like, I don't care. You don't feel bad about me. I'm not here to like, I don't care what your wife did to you. It's like, listen, there's two sides to every story. You're hearing this person's story, but it's their choice to stay. They're getting something out of it. And the bottom line is where people invest their time, their energy, their focus, and their money. They've invested a lot of time. They don't want to walk away from all of it because they're walking away from their money. They're walking away from where they put things. So then if they can have their cake and eat it too, that works for them. And that's why I'm saying it's like too many times I hear that that they're on their way out, but they don't move out. No, 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 that you want to see divorce papers, you want to see proof that they're really out, you want to know what the proceedings are. And it's not, the person will might act like you're being too paranoid. You're not. This is your life. If you can't put my mind at ease, then you're not the person for me. If you can't emotionally make me feel safe by being transparent with me, that there's not this weird fucking gray fucking area, that gray area of, I don't know, we're kind of getting out, but I don't really know. No, no, shove your thumb a little bit farther up your ass, because that's what it is. You don't know what you're doing, but you want me to sit here and pacify you. I don't have any. That's a hard no. That's a hard no. Hard no. It's like, because if you don't think that this person has claimed to try to leave the relationship before, you're out of your mind. And that's part of the excitement that happens in these attachment relationships. We get to pull in other people, because now I got to make you feel jealous. And then so I'm going to create all this drama and see how much I love you, see all this passion, see all this space. And we ruined all these other people's lives in the interim. And see how everyone just adores us. It's all driven by ego that after a while, these people need to pull in on other people to be like, okay, well, you're going to go off with someone else. Well, then I'm going to talk to someone else too. And it's like, and then they all become all of a sudden, oh, well, that person needs me. I don't care. I don't care if that person fucking needs you. They don't need you. Like, either you're in or you're out, and either you give me the time, the energy, the focus, the money, it all, or don't give. But I don't have time for you because you don't mind taking my time, energy, focus, and money. That is why. And it should be all about equal give and take reciprocity. And what we saw in this story right here is that this person is not capable of giving equal give and take reciprocity. Now all of a sudden they want to be your friend. Yeah, you don't have anything. You want to be my friend. It's like, well, friends like you, I wouldn't need enemies. I mean, like, come on. Can you be happy with someone else and completely forget about? Oh, like, I think that you can. I think that you can be happy with someone else, because I think there's a lot of false twin flames. That's first of all. Understand, twin flames, they need to really be like both parties are like, yeah, I'm ready to do the work. Yeah, I'm ready to do the work. It doesn't mean that they're healed. It means they're both in a place to surrender their ego and learn, because they're tired of being in the karmic cycle that keeps them stuck. So what happens is that the universe conspires to make it so. And so, but it's a very difficult relationship, because twin flame relationship is always going to pull out those traumas, always going to pull out everything that needs to be healed. There's a lot of passion, which represents fire, which helps transmute those negative energies. As we know, with the balanced twin flame relationship, they also create something. They do something together to integrate the higher levels of consciousness of that are again derived from unconditional love. So forgiveness, patience, all those, higher levels of consciousness. So that's first of all. And so a lot of times people confuse fake twins for real twins. And that's a main twin flames. And so that's number one. Number two, it's like, of course you can. It's wherever it's first of all, where you put your time, your energy, you're going to build an attachment. That's number one. Number two, I feel like a lot of times if you feel like you're stuck in a negative karmic attachment, then that's a sign that you're not giving yourself enough love. And what you'll see is when you begin to give yourself enough love, that karmic cord, so that psychic cord that a lot of times that past life karmics form to you, and that cord isn't broken until you learn the lesson, the spiritual lesson. So the intenseness of that connection lessens a lot. And it lessens a lot because you are looking at them differently. You fell in love with somebody different. You thought this person like had their shit together. You thought that they were this person, but then you're really looking at, and you're saying, oh my God, like that's not who they are. What the hell? You ever look at date somebody and then years later you look back and you're like, what the hell was I thinking? It's like looking back on your wardrobe from like 1980 or your hair from 1980. You're like, what? Why did I use a whole can of hairspray in my hair? What was I thinking? It's again, that was so bad for my hair too. It's the same concept. It's like, you don't see. So yes, you can. You need to learn the lesson though. And I feel like a lot of times those soulmate twin flame connections, they're like, a lot of times people think that they are. They're not unless both parties are ready to evolve, like I said. And a lot of times they're not. And what you have is just an attachment. So the best way to see whether you have attachment is to look at your emotions, say, what is this person making me feel? And then again, this person's never around. They make me feel not worthy. They make me not feel. And then what the universe says to you is, no one should be able to come into your life and make you feel that way. So if they were able to do that, that meant that there's something there that needs clearing, that needs healing. So dig deeper. So then what you'll notice is, oh, well, I don't really feel good about this aspect of my life. And then Spirit says, well, there's your answer. Fix that. Then you shift the energy. Once you shift the energy, again, that person feels it. Because again, if there's an ESP connection, there's a karmic connection, they can feel when you're close. They can feel when you're not, the same way that you can. And what you're doing is that you're pretty much that person can feel you cutting the cord. So if they're going to fix the connection, usually that's when they run in and they're like, let me fix it. And that's what we saw here. Again, I'm going to come in and fix it half-assed because I don't really have anything to fix it with. So I'm going to offer you my friendship. And it's like, yeah, because I remember you having feelings. Yeah, but that was then and this is now, and you just were not here. So no. I don't think that you are meant to be alone. I think what it is if you, again, love and want to be in a relationship, you can be in a relationship. If you feel that you're meant to be alone, it's because at this point you've been hurt too many times and you don't trust yourself. And then you have to start by healing that. And that happens by finding yourself, by going out and having a love affair with yourself. It also happens by doing yoga, breath work, again, shadow healing, because once you again are able to get a better connection to your body, you have good discernment. Trust again does not come from trusting other people. It happens from trusting yourself. And only in the now do you get divine guidance through gut intuition, inner knowing. Everyone is claircognizant and clairsentient, especially you. Again, you're a highly sensitive person. You just don't trust yourself. So you're like, I don't trust myself. And Spirit says, you don't know yourself. That's what the issue is. Have a love affair in your life. Again, nails, but actually healing. Healing. Get into the healing arts. You're a highly sensitive person. You'd be great with doing nails, yes, because you connect well with people. But any creative field, but do take a few classes on Udemy. Take them from $19 again, because you want to see what you would like. It's again, the only way you're going to know what you like is to try it. It's like, and then you start there. But you continue to feed yourself. The universe says, I know what you want more than you know what you want. You, again, don't really believe you can have it. You have inherited ancestral karma. There's a lot of other traumas that have gone on in your life. And so it starts by healing you. And that's by getting yourself strong. And that's when you feed your own passions and hobbies and interests. Well, then you're going to meet a lot of different people and situations that help create the support that you need. And then that's when you should meet a person, not before then. Because otherwise you're always going to give too much, too fast, too soon, or you're going to, again, not give anything at all and try and control it. And then no, you can't do that. You're not balanced. So it's, again, that's really what the issue is. Thank you, nature. Okay. Oh, I'm so glad, Mose. I mean, that's really what it is. It's it's about making sure that you're strong within yourself. A lot of times, like you said, we just look for it outside of ourselves, and you don't need to. And no one's meant to be alone. We're down here to learn what unconditional love is, and that's only through connecting to people. And you have a second chakra imbalance, which would make it very difficult for you to have a balanced relationship, because you don't always give too much, care too much, be like, well, I just want to treat people the way I want to be treated. But again, you didn't get treated nicely. So Spirit says, no, and now you're giving away the entire pizza, and there's 8 slices in there. That person should get maybe half a slice. They should work to get the other half. Meaning, how much are they reciprocating? How are they treating you? Or are you too busy? Again, overstimulated. And that's really what Spirit says. So yoga would be a yes. Breath work would be yes, because there's a lack of connection to the physical body. And this is why you don't trust yourself. And then you don't trust other people. And people can feel when you don't trust yourself. So that's why I'm saying, when you become yourself, it's a way to recreate yourself. And then people view you from that perception and not from the perception that you are perceiving yourself at. And that's the problem when we have trauma, that we attract more of that trauma because we don't realize how it comes out within our behaviorisms, which again, unconsciously tells a person that is shady, that has done it this 1,000,001 times, whether they can get over or they can't get over. And then you're like, all I was doing, I was being nice. And Spirit says, it's not about being nice. You already are nice. It's not about that. It's about choosing you first, because you were not chosen. And that's, again, where you have to reparent yourself. Then you will get love. And I'm feeling like someone in about 3.5 years will enter into your life. Feel like they have dark hair, and someone that is likes to ride bikes, is into motorbikes, is into like some sort of dirt bikes, motorbikes, somebody that's, again, likes hiking, likes your energy, very sensitive, again, very emotional, someone that's not very emotionally intelligent, but you have a good connection to. It's again, and I just feel like they're ready to be in a relationship. You're not destined to be alone forever, Sissika. There's no such thing. It's again because we are all have unconditional love inside of us. So there is no such thing as not being able to have love because you are that. There's a separation of that. And you only attract what you are. You're attracting what you believe you're deserving of or believe that you can only have because of the trauma. And so it's the trauma that needs to be integrated. No one needs to be alone. And that just means, well, you need to get a better connection to the physical body and the physical world. And that's through, again, becoming yourself, giving yourself the love, to reconditioning your nervous system through breath work, body mind connection, because again, of the anxiety of just past experiences, and again, connecting to other like minded people. And believe me, the universe will make a way where there is no way just for you. Doesn't just do it for Sisika, will do it for everyone, because that is the promise. The promise is that you become love and you are supported. You're here to learn all the different lessons of love. So we learn what messy love is, what hurtful love is, what painful love is, and all of it. And so it's all to help us evolve. I'm going to show myself the unconditional love. And that is the key, Queen Ski. All right, I'm going to take my little puppies to the dog park. They've been really good, and I think they need a little treat. So I will be on later. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.